Good. And what are your views on feminism?
I don't think people should say bad things about women. I don't know.
It's like it was all pointless, isn't it?
Bonkers.
Whatever happened to feminism? In a culture that bombards us with sex, is it any wonder women are taking to the stripper poles, out drinking men, and spending thousands of pounds on their appearance? From pole dancing classes to burlesque shows in universities, we have to question, has raunch culture shown feminism the door? And is sexual objectification the new cool?
I wake up every day is a daydream. Everything in my life ain't what
The louder you shout, the more the tassels will twirl.
At Leicester University, the Student Burlesque Society performed their latest show. The striptease craze has been cropping up in universities across the UK, and more girls than ever are signing up. Burlesque claims to empower women, but is there another reason why students are now mixing their studies with stripping?
I think maybe there are some people that do it for maybe the attention side or maybe the hey, I do burlesque, but ironically I don't think they do it to say that, oh, I'm doing it because the boys enjoy it. I think they're doing it because it makes them fit in with the girls now. I think any woman that says they do it now, it's not a seek for attention from, you know, the male species, it's seek for approval maybe from their female peers.
Feminists are calling it raunch culture, a culture where young women are swept away into believing stripping off is liberation and objectification the new girl power. Emma's mother, however, sees things very differently.
It all stemmed from one phone call when I rang her to tell her that I joined the Burlesque Society. And I said, don't worry, Mum, I'm not going to take my clothes off, I'm just doing it because I want to dress up. And she said, well, I should hope not. And from that one comment that she made, I've been petrified. It just boils down to the one aspect of I'm her daughter, you know, and getting my kit off in public.
At Nottingham Trent University, a pole dancing class is taking place. Branded the sexiest of all exercise, the class has surged in popularity since its debut 2 years ago. Although it is intriguing how young women have chosen to make fashionable a style of dancing that is so closely associated with stripping, some women are concerned the acceptance of the sex industry will have damaging effects.
Pornification of society, as it's sometimes called, it's just infiltrated to the very heart of mainstream culture. So now beauty ideals, they come from the sex industry. So ideals around wanting to have much bigger breasts, so the rise in cosmetic surgery and breast implants. So the fact that it's become so normalised in society means it's absolutely no surprise that, you know, girls are growing up now wanting to be glamour models, wanting to go to pole dancing lessons, because when you look at the women in society who are held up as, you know, as successful, or women who, you know, achieve fame, these are women often who have either, you know, are taking cues from the sex industry itself. So it's no surprise.
That's not bad, is it? But that one.
Popular lad mag Nuts has recently been under scrutiny from feminist groups for making young girls feel negatively about their bodies. They say the mags create false, unrealistic expectations of women.
The nicest.
When you see pictures like this, what's your first reaction?
I pick out which ones I think have got fake tits a lot. Yeah. Immediately.
The shorts.
They don't. It doesn't look real. Like there's nothing about it that even looks mildly real.
Not even the graffiti.
You know that, like, the thing that bothers me is that I don't think the boys know that women don't look like that. I just don't think they know.
And they showed some teenage boys pictures of breasts and asked which they preferred, and some of them were fake and some of them were real, and the ones they preferred were the fake ones, and they said that they looked, you know, more normal or something, or more what they would expect to see. And of course, you know, if you're looking at lads mags, then that is going to be what you expect to see, but that's not normal. So in a way, boys are at a disadvantage because they probably don't know it's it's not normal because they haven't seen a lot of girls naked. So in a sense you can't really blame them for thinking that, because that's the magazines.
They feel fat in a way because they've all been photoshopped.
Yeah, but no,
not really.
I
don't really
just
compare
bother me.
myself.
I think to myself, right, when I'm in the gym, I've always got this thing in my head, like when I run, all I repeat in my head is thin, thin, thin. Like that's just what I do. How much even at the height of my exercising, which was like every day gym for like 2.5 hours, I could never ever achieve that.
No.
Never. And I feel like it's
unrealistic.
completely unachievable.
See, I don't really care about that. I just wish I had some longer legs like them.
Stretch you a little bit.
At the annual Women of the World conference in London, celebrated feminists and like-minded women gather together to discuss the importance of keeping feminism alive in today's society. A variety of activities take place, from workshops, discussion groups, speeches and music. Sandy Toksvig, comedian and TV and radio presenter, drew in a large audience in her speech regarding the justification of feminism.
Here is the thing, I am a feminist because I have daughters, but also I am a feminist because I have a son. Okay? I am a feminist for every single person on the planet. Wouldn't it be a truly terrible place if the answer to the cure for cancer or to global warming was locked inside the head of a female child in Afghanistan who was not allowed to have an education? I will be a feminist as long as women of the world produce 80% of the world's food, do 85% of the world's work and own 1% of the assets. I will be a feminist until every single woman can stand up and live her life exactly as she pleases. Thank you very much.
Feminists who drive me crazy. Like, I don't care. I agree women should be fair and equal, but you have to understand there's probably going to be a limit, and barking on all the time is not going to...
You do think of pretty buff women, I have to say.
Yeah. If I wasn't like well read, I would have that stereotype, but I know people have that stereotype.
I mean, all these sort of stereotypes that hang around in the air, this lesbian, feminist, hairy-legged man-hater sort of thing, they say it like it's a bad thing. And there's an inherent misogyny and homophobia in that statement. Why is it a very effective insult to put women off being feminists? Actually, if there's nothing wrong with being a lesbian, it wouldn't be an effective insult. But unfortunately, it is an effective insult because society is so homophobic and so woman-hating. So I think we need to really tackle those sort of stereotypes head on, talk about them, debate about them, get them out there, but also not be put off by them, because they're there to put you off for a reason, and you must be doing something right and powerful and threatening if the whole of society wants to conspire to stop you from doing it.
The face of feminism has certainly changed. From radical women to girls gone wild, the debate still continues to rage as to whether we have created a culture which is objectifying women or empowering them.
This is a man's world.
They said, oh, you feminists, you want sexual liberation? Well, we can give it to you. We can give you the lap dancing clubs, we can give you the porn, because this is what sexually liberated women do, apparently. So they very much taken over the language, and what we need to do is reclaim it and say that's not sexual liberation. The violence in pornography is not sexual liberation, nor is stripping for men for money who go in there to get a big power rush. That's not liberation either. Sexual liberation is about something women genuinely feel about themselves. Sexuality is not a performance for others.
Yeah, it does make me feel liberated. Yeah. It makes you feel like that's your moment.
Made the boat for the water like Noah made the ark. This is a maze, a maze.